I will start here in task 3, vent inspection. Now, the venting we're going to be talking about is dry venting, as you can see here. The first part that I just want you to understand is you need to reference this code section first before we do anything else. It's section 3113.1. It tells us some of the general things we need to know about these vent pipes right here. It says, hey, the minimum required diameter of individual vents, branch vents, what else? Circuit vents, vent stacks, stack vents shall be at least 1/2 the required diameter of the drain served. Did you get that? 1/2 the required diameter of the drain served. So that's easy. As long as I can figure out what the drain served is, I just take half the diameter and I call it a day. But not really. Look what else has to happen here. It says the vent pipe shall not be less than 1.25 inches. I could never ever have a vent pipe less than 1.25 inches. So even if the half of the diameter of a 2-inch pipe that was a drain is 1 inch, I can't use a 1-inch vent. I got to use 1.25 inches, period. When you have vents that exceed 40 feet, ladies and gentlemen, in developed length is where you measure the horizontal pipe, the vertical pipe, and around the fittings. It's the full measurement of all of all the vent pipe, including the fittings. All right. So that's first and foremost. I'm going to go through a couple of general things, and I'm going to get right into that wet vent thing. Frost closure. If you live around where things freeze a lot, you're going to want to look at this section here. We have these ISO maps and charts that we go off of for heating and cooling systems. Well, it plays a part right here when we talk about vent pipes as well, where the 97.5% value for outside design temperature. This is how we design heating systems. We use these charts, you know, they're based off of heating degree days, things of that nature. Where our design temperature is 0 degrees Fahrenheit or less, we need to make sure that we size the pipe, right? So say my vent pipe that I sized according to the code only had to be 1.5 inches. We need to increase this pipe as it goes through the roof in cold areas of our country to prevent frost closure. A lot of times we have crystallization that builds up on the inside of the pipe right here at the inlet of the air that is supposed to be used for our air reference or our atmospheric pressure reference. It frosts up at this location. If I had such a small pipe up going through the roof in these cold areas, due to the heat that's given off from the contents within the pipe, it would frost over. We need a bigger diameter pipe, and in this case, it's got to be not less than 3 inches for cold areas. So there you have it. All right, let's go to the next one. This section right here, this is called a common vent. Common vent. In your books, take a look at this accordingly. Take a look at this accordingly. A common vent right here is an individual vent that's permitted to vent 2 traps or 2 trapped fixtures as a common vent. The traps or trapped fixtures being common vented shall be located on the same floor level, right? Is this a true statement here? I have a lavatory here and a lavatory here. They appear to be on the same floor level, right? Yeah. I have a washing machine here with a standpipe. I've got a laundry tray adjacent to it. They're on the same floor level. That's fine. These are both called common vents. This setup right here is what we call connection at the same level, right? Connection at the same level. Both of these fixture drains connect at the same level, okay? So basically, I can actually size my vent accordingly based on, you know, drainage fixture units, half the diameter, et cetera, et cetera. By the way, do you know what a drainage fixture unit value is for a lavatory? Do you remember that value? What's the drainage fixture unit value for a lavatory?
3.
No, a little bit lower. Go to that table in chapter 30. It's 1 drainage fixture unit. Okay, so if I have 1 drainage fixture unit for this lav, 1 drainage fixture unit for this lav, that's 2 drainage fixture units, half the diameter of the drain served, right? Right? The drain for a lav is 1.25 inches, right? 1.25 inches.
Yeah.
My main vent size cannot be less than 1.25 inches, so this has to be at least 1.25 inches. Okay, let's take a look at this thing here. This is called a common vent right here. You see this little vertical thing here? See that little vertical pipe? This little vertical pipe, I need to apply this table here. This is where we have connection at a different level. You see this? I need to take the upper fixture. When it drains in here, this pipe is going to serve as the vent for the washing machine standpipe and also the drain for the laundry tray. This pipe needs to be a little bit oversized, so I need to apply this table. The drainage fixture unit value for a laundry tub. Anybody know? What's the drainage fixture unit for a laundry tub?
It's 2, isn't it?
It should be 2. Remember that table in chapter 30, that drainage fixture unit table? If you have a code book, you can turn there quickly. I'll try to find it myself here quickly. Drainage fixture units. Well, somebody try to find that table and I will continue on because I'll have this information shortly. This is called a common vent. So if I size this at 2 drainage fixture units right here, what size does this pipe have to be for the load that's given off for my laundry tub? 2 drainage fixture units. I come down here. I can't go with 1. I could go to 4 drainage fixture units, size that pipe at 2 inches. 2 inches. This pipe is 2 inches right here. And remember, you can never ever reduce the piping in the direction of flow, right? That stays 2 inches, probably picks up the washing machine. That 2-inch pipe is adequate to carry that particular load. Okay. Let me go on here and show you this wet venting here. Okay. Go right to the section here. 3108. Let me explain how this works. This is where we can kind of save some effort, save some labor, save some economics, and still get a good code compliant drainage system. Well, look at what you're looking at here. I'm looking at a bathroom group that starts right here. I see a water closet. I go upstream. I come over here to a lavatory, bathroom lav, and upstream of the lavatory connection, I have a tub. But as you notice, I don't have a dry vent connected to the tub, and I don't have a dry vent connected to the water closet. The only dry vent that I have is right here, and it's connected to the lavatory. That goes out and ties in directly to the roof or to another vent part of the system that ultimately goes up through the roof of the dwelling. So, where does the wet vent start? Here's where it starts. Take a look at this, and what is it good for? It's called a horizontal wet vent. It says any combination of fixtures within 2 bathroom groups. I like that. You mean I can get 2 bathroom groups instead of 1? The answer is yes. On the same floor level are permitted to be vented by a horizontal wet vent. Fantastic. Look at this. The wet vent shall be considered the vent for the fixtures and shall extend. Here it is. You ready for this? Shall extend from the connection of the dry vent, that's right here, the connection of the dry vent, along the direction of the flow in the drain pipe to the most downstream fixture on the drain connection. So what does that mean? We start here. We go down, flowing in the downstream direction of the drain. We go to the very last fixture, which is the water closet on the wet vent system. So it ends here. It starts here, comes down vertically, it goes horizontally now, and ends up on the last fixture, which is the water closet that ties in to this horizontal wet vent pipe. Okay? That's exactly what it says. Each fixture drain shall connect where? Horizontally. Let me ask you a question. Does the water closet tie in horizontally to this pipe? Does this pipe tie in horizontally? The answer is yes. Does the tub tie in horizontally? Yes. Right? Okay. Well, wait a minute. The tub is upstream of this horizontal wet vent. Is that allowed? Is that allowed? Right here. See this? Not more than one wet vented fixture drain shall discharge upstream of the dry vented fixture drain connection. Okay, what does that mean? Here's the dry vented fixture drain connection right here. As I come down at this point, I'm allowed to tie in one fixture that's upstream of this particular drain. Upstream, as it's shown, is the tub. All right, so let's take a look at this. You can see I've got the drainage fixture units here. My lavatory is one drainage fixture unit, all right? I come over here. I carry one drainage fixture unit down this pipe. This is going to be the start of the wet vent pipe. Is this pipe size correct? 1.5 inches? Does 1.5 inches carry one drainage fixture unit? From that point to that point. So I go to the table here. My lavatory is worth one drainage fixture unit. That pipe size has to be 1.5 inches. So that pipe is 1.5 inches to that point. Now I've got a tub that actually intersects right at that juncture right there. That tub has a demand of 2 drainage fixture units. So guess what? I need to size this pipe right here for 3 drainage fixture units, right? 1 for the lav, 2 for the tub. This pipe has to be able to carry 3 drainage fixture units. Go to the table. 1 is no good. I could move up to 4 and size that pipe at 2 inches. 2-inch diameter is the pipe size here. And then, as you would expect, a water closet is a 3-inch connection. It has a 3-inch connection on it. And of course, it ties in accordingly at 3 inches at this point. And this is the end of the wet vent system. So this is all 3-inch going down. Okay. Now, we're not done yet. What is the largest diameter drain served on the wet vent? What is the largest diameter drain served on the wet vent?
3-inch.
Don says 3-inch. I agree with you, Don. Fantastic. So in order to size our dry vent, we need to take half the diameter of the largest drain served. So rightly so. If that's 3-inch pipe, half of 3 inches, 1.5 inches. And then I do a check and I say, remember, the smallest dry vent I can have is 1.25 inches, and this in fact is more than 1.25 inches, so it works, right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Here's the table, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the drainage fixture units. Remember this table? 3004.1. This is where we're getting all the drainage fixture units for the plumbing fixtures. Let me show you maybe a little more complicated one. How about this one here? You see this one? Just look at it. I know it looks weird, but just look at it for a minute, right? It's not too hard, is it? Look what's happening here. When I see a diagram like this, I always look for the dry vent. Where's the dry vent coming off here? And where is the end of the wet vent? Remember, it starts at the juncture of the dry vent, doesn't it? Right?
Yeah.
We move down in the direction of drainage, down from the dry vent juncture to that point. We go on, go beyond, and it ends right here, right at that point there. See where that water closet ends? And it connects in? That's where the wet vent ends. So this horizontal wet vent, this pipe right here, is what's called the horizontal wet vent, and it ends right there. Okay? So ask yourself the question, I know a lav is worth 1 drainage fixture unit. Look at this, I've got 2 lavs. I've got a total load of 2 drainage fixture units in this pipe right here. It says it's a 2-inch. If I'm a plans examiner, I'm going to check it. 2 drainage fixture units. I go to the table. 1 is no good. Hey, I could get away with 4. That's a 2-inch pipe. Case in point, this pipe is properly sized at 2 inches. Next fixture that I pick up here is a shower for 2 drainage fixture units. So 2 4 drainage fixture units is what's the demand on this piece of pipe. So as you can imagine, 4 drainage fixture units, that pipe size can stay 2 inches. However, there's always a however. I've got a tub coming in at 2 drainage fixture units. So this little section of pipe behind the water closet, this little section right here, has to be sized at 6 drainage fixture units, right? 2 for the tub, 2 for the shower, and 2 for the 2 lavs is the demand on this little piece of pipe, 6. I go in here, 6 drainage fixture units. That little piece of pipe has to be 2.5 inches in diameter. And last but not least is my water closet that has a 3-inch outlet. They all do. And we end up with a 3-inch connection to the horizontal wet vent and 3-inch pipe thereafter. But this is where it ends at 3 inches. So again, Don, I'm going to ask you, what is the largest drain served on the wet vent here?
3 inches.
3 inches. And is this dry vent sized accordingly at 1.5 inches?
Oh, yep.
It is. It's half the diameter of the largest drain served on the wet vent. And there we go. We can get away with 1 dry vent and oversize the pipe to be adequate for venting the shower, the tub, and the water closet, provided that I make a horizontal connection with each and every fixture to the horizontal wet vent. And as you can see, they all are horizontally connected to the horizontal wet vent. The tub is, the shower is, the tub is, and the water closet is. Any questions so far? Before I blow your mind on the next slide. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Look at that thing. Can you imagine getting something that was drawn up like that? Oh my gosh.
You know,
It's not so bad, you know, just look at it for a minute. Just kind of look at that. It's actually a bathroom on maybe each side of a wall, you know. Take a good look at it. You see what's happening here. It's 2 separate bathroom groups that are separated probably by a wall, right? I got a lav up on the right-hand side. I've got a tub upstream, and I've got a water closet. Not a big deal. I've got the exact same thing on the other side of the wall, right? And in both cases, they're using the wet vent and sizing the piping accordingly. Show you another kind of a setup here. Again, do you remember what the code said? We could use this wet vent for 2 separate bathroom groups located on the same floor level, can't we? So in a case like this, I could use the wet vent to vent 2 tubs and 2 lavatories. You see how we do this? Here's how we do this. I just take the total drainage fixture units, right, from my lav. Pretty simple operation here, right? I know a lav is worth what? 1 drainage fixture unit,
Yeah.
2 drainage fixture units. Here's my wet vent. It starts right here and it ends right at that point right there where my tubs come in, okay? I know this has to be a 2-inch pipe carrying 2 drainage fixture units, right? Right? 2-inch pipe. And then I pick up at this juncture a tub on this side, a tub on this side. Tub is worth 2 here, another 2 here. So that gives me 6 drainage fixture units for this pipe right here. 6 drainage fixture units. That pipe size has to be a minimum of 2.5 inches. Okay. Now, Don,